An escape now for New York. That is the focus of tonight's angle. Now, during election season, failing political leaders put a lot of time and energy into changing public perception. Believing that better PR is the answer, they feverishly attempt a brand reboot. Now, Biden's done it more times than I can say mega MAGA, but it's maddening to see elected officials try this in the city that never sleeps, or maybe we should call it the city that's never safe.
Ask me, why does New York lead the entire nation in population loss? Because their wallets, their safety, their freedom, and their quality of their kids' education are under attack. So they're hitting their breaking point. They're looking at other states like the Carolinas, Tennessee, Texas, Florida, and elsewhere, and they feel like their money will go further, they'll feel safer, and they'll live life freer.
Like I said, sound bites, not sound policy. That's absurd.
That's pathetic. And New York Mayor Eric Adams wants you to forget about his city's high taxes and high crime problem and think all that he is doing is really good. And so he does stuff like now use a hashtag that says, "Get stuff done" on social media. Now, look at Eric with Mayor Pete yesterday. Well, yeah, he's getting stuff done. But here's the stuff that's actually getting done. Subway crime is up 41% in New York this year, and transit murders are at a 25-year high. But Mayor Adams says that everyone needs to realize it's only 6 felony crimes a day in the subway.
If you do an analysis of the 6 major cities in America, the crime waves is tackling all of our cities. New York City is the safest. I also showed how I have turned around the morale of a police department. Yes, we have a real crime problem that we're addressing, but part of that is the perception that every day those 6 crimes are being highlighted over and over again.
The man is totally tone deaf. Does he not understand anyone, especially women commuting by subway, are terrified at the prospect of being the next victim? And what does he want the press to do? Conceal the surveillance videos? Well, at least they've made some arrests in the subway attacks. Not so in upstate New York, where that Compass Care, that pro-life center that was firebombed on June 7th in a so-called Jane's revenge attack. There was $400,000 worth of damage done to that charitable organization. But it's not a priority, is it? Not for New York's AG. Because she's too busy, Letitia James, carrying out her own revenge attack on Donald Trump. But the least shocking development in New York politics lately was the New York Slimes editorial endorsing Governor Kathy Hochul. Now, over and over again, they write, Lee Zeldin, has demonstrated a loyalty to Trumpism over his oath to defend American democracy and the Constitution. In his campaign for governor, he makes a spurious arguments about crime and advocates returning to the zero-tolerance policies that have no clear connection to improving public safety. Well, I hate to break it to the gray old lady, but that's called getting tough on crime, kids. And that's exactly what needs to be done in New York. Now, it was only when the polls started getting shaky for Hochul did she even want to talk about re-examining things like bail reform. But that didn't last long.
She still hasn't talked about locking up anyone committing any crimes.
Okay.
Anyone who commits a crime under our laws, especially with the change they made to bail, has consequences. I don't know why that's so important to you.
Now, if that sentence didn't lose her the election, I don't know what will. She just doesn't care about you. If you're living in New York, and she's making it clear.
There was very few people in Congress who have a more pro-life record, someone who said he'd bring on a pro-life health commissioner. You know how much power that person has over decisions on regulations? They could literally use their power to shut down clinics. So that is a frightening spectacle. Women need to know that that's on the ballot this November as well.
And to think that this was once the party of JFK. Meanwhile, the left claims that Hochul is a leader who is focused on finding solutions to the big problems rather than getting off track with partisan warfare. Oh, really? They think she's not partisan? Oh, okay.
We're here to say that the era of Trump and Zeldin and Molinaro, just jump on a bus and head down to Florida where you belong, okay? Get out of town. Get out of town. Because you don't represent our values. You are not New Yorkers. You're not New Yorkers.
Although, in typical weasel fashion, She then tried to clarify those nasty remarks. New York's 2.84 million Republicans heard her, though, loud and clear. She was telling her to get out. The fact is, Hochul is now and always has been a radical harpy who, just like Mayor Adams, shows more concern for migrants flooding the state than for the nearly 20 million Americans who still call New York their home. But don't worry, because Hochul says she has no plans to raise taxes right now, New Yorkers. Well, I should hope not. Raise taxes in an economic downturn? And look where New York ranks in the just-released Business Tax Climate Index. Number 49. So the Angle's message to the good people of New York tonight is the same as it is to the good people of Connecticut, Michigan, Illinois, etc. Aren't you tired of this yet? 2 weeks from tonight, the voters in liberal strongholds like New York have a chance to save themselves and send a powerful message to the Democrat Party. To quote President Trump in 2016, what do you have to lose? You don't have to escape the state. Just choose to escape its bad leadership. And that's the Angle.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.